Welcome back to another Impulse Plays. Today we've got me, Ben, here with Crazy Carl Winter. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing awesome. I got to play PREMODERN all day, and then I ate crab dip, and I drank beer, and I'm now commenting on Magic. This is like an A+ day. This is great.
Yeah, today's been pretty awesome. We've got another round here from the Dragon Master Games 1K tournament that we just participated in for pre-modern. I believe it's gonna be a sweet matchup with some sweet decks. We got
Hmm.
Fires, which tell me a little bit about Fires here, Carl.
So Fires is usually based around the concept of casting Fire's Maya, which is a 3 mana enchantment, which gives all your creatures haste, and then it has another effect, gives +2/+2 by sacrificing, but that doesn't matter. It gives all your creatures haste, and then you cast like super sweet creatures, and then just attack with them on the turn they come into play, which is great. We're looking at round four, which is our new buddy Riley versus an old. I'm not saying Josh is old, but Josh is old buddy of mine, Josh O, playing Enchantress versus Riley's Fires, and these are some sweet decks. I don't have deck pictures to pull up for everybody, but I do have pictures of their deck lists. So Ben, let's take a look at Josh O's Enchantress list. Um,
Right.
and I don't think either of us are super experts on Enchantress, but it looks like it casts enchantments and draws cards and plays removal spells. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems like what it wants to do.
yeah,
It's got the it's got waves, it's got replenish. Looks like it's trying to control the game, draw a ton of cards, and eventually kill you.
yeah. Very, very, very powerful deck. Like you've got the Sarah Sanctums, the giant mana with all your enchantments. You've got 8 Enchantress effects, which let you draw cards whenever you play enchantments between Argothian Enchantress and Enchantress Presence. You've got tutors, which let you search for cards that you want between Sterling Grove and Enlightened Tutor. And then you got a bunch of utility enchantments to do all sorts of really sweet stuff. Sideboard's got some graveyard hate, some creature removal, and a bunch of other hate pieces, which are pretty sweet.
Yeah. Looks like it eventually wins with Opalescence making all of your enchantments dudes and attacking, or Words of Wilding to generate a bunch of bears.
Both are very, very sweet. I'm in favor of both those win
Oh,
conditions.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they're as sweet as Riley's deck though. Riley's coming with Fire's Yavimaya. He plays some Call the Herds and some Sapling Bursts and Blastoderms and Riverboa.
Blaster notably can't be Swords to Plowshares. That creature's a menace.
Very true. I saw Riverboa and play against you earlier in the day, and I was super proud of Riley. Like, I don't think he knew it. I didn't make it known to him, but I'm like, good on you, dude. Good on you, dude.
You know, Riverboa notably really hard to block with Mishra's Factory when
Get
you're
an island
playing
play. Mm-hmm.
the best basic land.
Yeah, yeah. The Riverboa is really good against the best base land in the format for sure. It has regenerate too, so it only dies to incinerate and Swords Plowshares. Like that is not nothing. That is not nothing.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
yeah. Let's see. This is a very classic aggro versus kind of a control combo matchup.
Yeah.
Um, so
What do you think about the
let's.
Sapling Burst over there? Is
Ooh,
that normal fires?
oh yeah, no. Sapling Burst is like a very, very classic fires out by a card. Like, so what happens is
Sweet.
you play, ideally you play like a birds or Llanowar Elves on turn one. You play fires out my on turn two. Hopefully you play like a blaster, maybe Call the Herd on turn three, using your mana dorks, and then on turn four you cast Sapling Burst. My only uh, criticism here is that he doesn't have four of them, but you know you do you. But you
Mhm,
cast you
mhm.
cast Sapling Burst. You remove 3 to 4 counters, and Sapling Burst makes a token equal to the number of fading counters on it. It comes with 7. So if you remove 3 counters, you make 3/4/4s. You remove 4 counters, you make four 3/3s. And
Mhm.
you basically get to attack for 12 on turn 4, which is really powerful, very very strong. Um,
Yeah, that seems great.
Yeah, I think the optimal number in most situations is to remove 3 counters because you get 3/4/4s, which then turn into 3/3s when it fades the next turn. Whereas if you make 4/3/3s, they turn into 4/2/2s on the next turn. So it really depends on like what the board says. Like it's a very flexible card. Um, Some players, I think the German psychopaths are playing Mog Bombers with Sapling Burst. I told Riley about it. He was very confused. Look it up if you're interested, but it's pretty sweet. Um, what do you say we get into this Fires versus Enchantress match?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so we've got Riley on the left and Josh on the right. And I think Josh may have mulliganed here. I did trim this a little bit. Let's see, on Enchantress. Oh gosh, she has Enchantress worship. Look, looking
That's
at
gonna be that's gonna be tough
yeah,
to hammer
I was about
through.
to say, let's look at
Um,
Riley's deck list. Does
like,
Riley
I
have
don't know
any
if there's
way to deal
is
with
there a
those?
way to remove Enchantress in this deck? I don't know if there is.
There usually isn't, especially not in red green, and he doesn't have any disenchant effects game one against a worship. So bad news is he can't deal with
He's
that kind of lock. Good news is
so
playing fires.
he's just gotta win by before turn 4.
Yeah, and he's off to a good start. He's got the Birds of Paradise on turn one, which is it's really powerful for accelerating you into turn two fires, turn three Blastoderm, and then turn four and beyond. You just throw out a bunch of boom booms and get them.
Mm-hmm.
So Josh uses a Windswept Teeth, and he gets that turn two Argothian Enchantress, which the Enchantress deck loves. It's got Shroud and draws you a card whenever you cast an enchantment. Reading the card does not explain the card. You do not have to successfully cast an enchantment. You just have to cast it, and you get to draw the card.
Yeah, some fun extra bonus words on that one that have been since errated away, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yenor Elves. That is not a boom boom.
No, it is not. Ooh, Riverbow's a boom boom though. I know it's not like super huge, but that card is so sweet.
I mean, regenerate is just it's just fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Seal
You don't see it
cleansing.
very often.
You know what seal cleansing is not good against?
Riverboa.
Correct. Good answer. I have one of my favorite vintage memories of playing Magic 20 years ago was Jacob Orlov, who's an old school Type 1 / vintage player. He won a Molda 3 with Riverboa and Rancor. He just played land, untap, land, Riverboa, untap, Rancor, and attacked his opponent for 5 turns and killed them. It was so sweet.
Yeah, that almost happened to me just this past tournament. Probably that particular Riverboa in play.
It might be. It might be. There's a couple of them. So it could have been another one, but all right. Josh has got
There's
the Wild
a
Growth,
Wild Growth,
which let me
draw
draw
a
some
card.
cards. Riley's got the
Hasn't hit 4
Blastoderm,
mana
which
yet.
hits for a lot of damage. He doesn't have the fires though. Like Blastoderm, like fires into Blastoderm is a lot of damage represented.
Oh,
Ooh,
never mind. He's got all of the mana in the world now.
yeah.
That's Sarah Victim hitting play.
Yep. He's floating some mana. Drops out a Sterling Grow, which gives all of his enchantments Shroud. It also can sacrifice to search for an enchantment because why not? You know that seems fair.
It's Enlightened Tutor, right? It goes on top of your deck.
It is. It's a half of an Enlightened Tutor. Enlightened Tutor gets artifacts as well, but yeah.
Sure.
So Riley confirming that the Argothian Enchantress has Shroud, and he can do nothing about it.
Producing a bunch of mana here.
Drops
Ooh,
the
Parallax
Parallax
Wave.
Wave. Very powerful card against a creature deck. Did you know? Did you know that Parallax Wave cannot target Blaster?
I did know that, yes.
I am also intimately familiar with that interaction or lack thereof, and it's pretty sweet. So, Josh is at a pretty high life total, but did you also know that Blastoderm, once it phases down to 2, Riley? There you go, got there. Hits for 5 damage. 5 damage is a lot.
It is. Worship's still not hitting play here, so
Yeah, and it's possible Josh
got some
put it on the
time.
bottom. I don't know for sure. I haven't seen his hand since we looked at the initial hand. He may not have the worship in play, or in his hand.
Prune hand, yeah.
Ooh, he's got the port to tap the Sarah Sanctum. He's got the worship in his
Nice.
hand. Okay, so he's got the worship to cast. So it's kind of the
He
world is
still
oyster at
has
this point. But
still has access to 4 mana here, but
yeah,
oh,
draws
that is
cards with
awesome
Wild
card.
Growth. Yep, beautiful. I think Ice Age Wild Growth. Get a green mana whenever you tap your enchanted land for mana.
Yeah, those look great.
Yeah,
Oh, Worship coming in now.
when worship comes out.
Worship plus draw a card.
That seems unsporting. I feel like at the very least, Josh should not draw a card if he's going to hard lock Riley out of the game.
Yeah, I believe that they are discussing you may not have a way to deal with this.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the way I explain combos. People are like, "I am so sorry, but you cannot possibly win the game at this point." Um, I am hopefully looking at Riley's deck list and not seeing any way to destroy enchantments, which he would not be able to
Yeah,
do through the Sterling Grove.
no sweepers really that might take care of an untargetable creature.
Yeah, and he does have, to his credit, he does have 6 burn spells in his deck. Unfortunately, Worship is an enchantment that whenever you take damage, if you have a creature in play, if it would take you to less than 1, it puts you to 1. So if Josh is at, let's say, 1 life and Riley Lightning Bolts him with the Worship and the Argothian Enchantress in play, Josh just stays at 1, which, again, he's drawing cards off of these things. Doesn't seem terribly sporting to not die when his opponent has the good sense to burn at him, but, you know.
You never know.
Um,
Maybe Josh will choose to block.
we can hope. We can hope. Um, this is I don't want to say it's a I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, really, but like, it's just a matter of time before Josh finds an Opalescence or a Words of Wilding to just make creatures and win the game. Um,
Right. I don't know if he knows that. I don't know how intimate they are with what each other is playing here.
True. Yeah. No. That's we have the benefit of omniscient information.
Correct.
And I see Josh has Parallax Wave in hand, which typically with sorry, he has Opalescence in hand. I'm sorry. With Parallax Wave is a full lock combo against creature decks where your Parallax Wave becomes a creature. It has the ability to remove a fading counter from it to exile a creature. And what it can do is it can exile your opponent's creatures and then exile itself, triggering its leave play ability, exile everything, and then your Parallax Wave comes back to play and it just stays out forever. But key thing is here that Sterling Grove gives Shroud to all of your enchantments. Parallax Waves targets your enchantments. So I don't know if you're seeing the conundrum here, Ben, but it basically comes out to where
It's a little bit of a nombo.
a little bit of nombo. You just have to settle for your enchantments being shrouded and not dying ever. Josh has the solitary confinement, which came out like 3 minutes ago, but I was too busy talking about Parallax Wave and Opalescence. Um,
Mhm.
solitary confinement prevents all damage to you. You have to discard a card every turn, but Josh has 2 enchantress in play. He plays any number of enchantments, draws cards, discards them to the solitary confinement. Riley has no enchantment destruction that I can
Yeah,
see in
that
the main deck.
really feels like a little bit overkill.
A bit much, yeah, a bit much. But yeah, Josh being safe. I do not begrudge
Yeah.
him for taking little to no risks. Like, why bother? Like, at this point, they're what 15 minutes into the match. Like,
Mhm.
take your time, kill him whenever you want.
Yeah.
Seeing the seal cleansing not super useful, but again with the enchantress deck, it's really sweet because like your situational enchantments may not be good, but with an enchantress effect in play, you just draw any number of cards, which is powerful.
Waves back out. Another Sterling Grove. Just
Yep.
drawing a ton of cards.
Very strong lock, basically. As long as Josh does not forget to pay for the upkeep on his um,
Got
solitary confinement. Yeah.
an elephant grass, make it even more difficult to attack.
Yeah.
Uh, not
Even,
that you're gonna you can't take damage, and it's hard to attack anyway.
mm-hmm.
Oh, and you're just gonna not have any creatures. Okay.
Yeah, because why would you have those? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make
Yeah,
any
this is
sense.
a tough prison lock put on here by the Enchantress deck, kind of firing on all cylinders, doing what it
Mm-hmm.
wants to do.
Yep. And Riley, to his credit, he used that Rashad import. He taps that Sarah Sanctum. Good on you, Riley. Heck you, Josh.
Yep.
No extra mana for you.
Cumulative upkeep's got to be paid on that elephant grass, right?
Conversely, he could just
It's supposed to
say no.
die,
I think
right?
Josh was happy paying 1 green to draw 2 cards.
That does seem reasonable. Ooh, what's
Car-
that?
that's a karmic justice. It's an enchantment that whenever an effect of your opponent destroys a non-land permanent of yours, you can destroy target permanent they control. Um, Super good against
That's
disenchants, tranquility effects, whatever. Notably, it doesn't come up
the
often, but if you're in
Yuri Guile.
yeah,
Draw.
Mir's got sweet. Yeah, draw some extra cards, look at extra cards. Sylvan Library, draw extra cards. Yeah. Going back to Karmic Justice, though, just for those that are not in the know, if an effect like Lightning Bolt kills one of your enchantments, that is a state-based effect of a state-based effect causes your enchantment to die with an Opalescence in play, or a creature or whatever, as opposed to destroying the enchantment or whatever, like a disenchant. So the Karmic Justice does not trigger on damage. It only triggers on specifically
Not a destroy
destroys.
effect. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. That is
That's
the
good.
most convoluted way of describing how Karmic Justice works, but long story short, it does nothing game one, but it does draw Josh multiple cards, which is pretty good. I see a replenish. I feel like Josh has had this Opalescence in his hand for like 10 minutes now and just hasn't cast it.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh, you do
Yeah, at
you.
some
You
point, you gotta.
you live your best life. You're in the full lockdown against the scrappy fires deck from what 1999. Like you do you, boo. Again, notably, so
Waiting to
tip
see if players actually hit play. Hopefully, we get that one of the games this match.
seriously, yeah. Yes, actually, a kind of a non. You mentioned earlier, non-bow here is if Josh does play that Opalescence. Typically, you can use Parallax Wave to exile your opponent's creatures, but if there's an Opalescence play with two Sterling Groves, among other things, you can't target your Parallax Wave, so you can't just exile their stuff forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think Josh gets to attack for a Hojillion
Ooh,
damage here.
replenish.
He plays the worst replenish in history. No, not the worst replenish in history, but the least impressive replenish I've seen today.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
material hitting the board, and
Not a lot of result. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Riley
gotta
calls it
keep.
correct and scoops it up. Yeah. So heading into game two, I don't know that the players gave us their sideboards, but I've got to imagine Riley's bringing in naturalizes, maybe some Tormod's Crypts. From Josh, what do you think?
Probably after seeing that replenish, but
Mm-hmm. Tournament Exploration is always strong. Is it the Wild Growth or okay? Looks like okay, no. Maybe Josh had an Enchantress in his hand. He was considering not playing the Wild Growth, so he played Enchantress on turn two. But you should good. Yeah, get in there, Landware Elves. You do you. Okay, yep.
oh,
That is a 3/4 on turn two. That is not bad.
horned Kavu, right?
Yes, Horn Kavu enters the battlefield as one of the quote unquote gating creatures from Plane Shift, where they entered the battlefield and you had to return a creature of the same color to your hand from play on your side. Um,
Oh, Rancor onto the Kavu. Let's go.
Sweet Sassy Molassie. Did you know that's 5 damage on turn three? Because that's 5 damage on turn three.
Seems good. He's just built himself a little Tarmogoyf over there.
World's most scrappy Tarmogoyf, I think. Note he did not play the Llanowar Elves again. I don't know why. Is he holding up a naturalized, perhaps? Riley, show me your hand. I need to see your hand, Riley. Just tip it a little bit forward. No, don't put it back. Bring it forward. Bring it forward. Okay. Nope. Riley, you need to
Oh,
hold it longer so I can see what's there. I see a pair of Llanowar Elves, a forest, and then I don't know what the other card is.
yeah.
Let's just assume he has a naturalized. That seems good.
Oh,
Less good with a Sterling Grove in play.
so you want to hit the Grove, I suppose.
If he had a naturalized in hand, he could respond to the Sterling Grove by casting it on the Enchantress presence, but I don't know. Killing the Sterling Grove is good too. If he has naturalized, this is a good time to use it before that Karma just resolves, because otherwise Josh gets to vindicate one of Riley's friends. Like he's got nothing. No, he's just cracking for another 5. Seems good. Oh, he's got a Tormod's Crypt. That's nice.
Okay. It's to play some dorks out here.
Yeah, yeah. Elf comes out, hits for another 5.
Getting a
Sacks
land.
a beautiful onslaught. Wooded Foothills. Love to see it. Oh, that's yeah, Riley. next time I see you, I owe you a beer because that Mercadian Mass foil mountain, chef's kiss.
Oh,
Love
see,
it.
that looks like a crazy Carl Mountain to me.
It's not quite what I
Make
would use, but I'm a favorite. I'm a fan of it.
make it an elephant. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of damage to deal with.
Yeah, and Josh notably does not have an Argothian Enchantress in play. He does have the Worship in his hand. Um, but he doesn't have like a full lock like he did last game.
It's
Like
not, yeah, that's
he's
not good enough without a creature, right?
yeah, no, he's under some pressure here. Be interesting to see how he
He does
plays through
have
it.
Enchantress's presence to try and draw out of this.
He's generating 9
That's a
mana.
lot of
Is my math correct? That's a lot of mana.
Oh, is that the
Using
Opalescence in his
I
hand?
see the
He can
Opalescence.
put some blockers into play.
Okay, so he drops Worship,
Worship.
draws a card, has no creatures notably. Oh, by the way, he has creatures now.
That's awesome.
Okay. Plays a Wooded Hill, or no, sorry, not Wooded Hills, a
Woodsoap Teeth.
Winds of Teeth. Thank you. Took me a second to get there. Um, okay,
You
so
know, the other
Josh is currently in a situation where any damage he takes puts him down to 1 with the Worship, because the Worship is a replace. I don't know exactly if it's a replacement effect or whatever, but long story short, if you have a creature in play, you take damage, and Worship's in play, you go down to 1 as opposed to less than 1. If you lose life, you can die to it. You can die with it in play, but not notably red green's best trait with life loss. All
some
right, I'm gonna test
some
my
combat
yeah,
have to figure out here.
I'm gonna test my basic analogy. I want to say that's an onslaught mountain without being able to see the expansion symbol. Um, comments,
Oh,
please correct me if I'm wrong, but that
or
that feels like a Bob Ross mountain there, right? Like it's got the mountain with the forest and the lake and a beautiful like colored sky. Love to see it.
uh-huh.
And I think we have a Mirage Mountain there. Spoilers, Josh seems to have a full lock. That's why I'm talking about basic lands. These basic lands on Riley's side are absolutely gorgeous. Love to see them. Josh rocking some revised lands.
That's an
Really nice.
Odyssey mount.
Oh, is it Odyssey?
Yeah, Odyssey's got some beautiful and underrated basic lands, I feel.
I feel like you're biased being an Odyssey enjoyer in your Landstill deck, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it. But you know, you're not wrong. Odyssey does have very nice
Cool.
looking basics for
Right.
sure.
Mhm.
All right, Josh
Yeah.
taking a lot of unnecessary game actions. Winky face. He doesn't have the parallax wave, so he can't just like shut things down. He's got a curse totem, which shuts off a lot of his enchantments. So, fun fact: when you have an Opalescence in play, all of your enchantments are creatures, and if they have an activated ability, you can't use them when the curse totem's in play. You can, however, attack for like 30 damage if you have a bunch of enchantments in play. So that's the thing you're allowed to do.
Oh, that's interesting. Wait, so he currently can't. Oh, we're just scooping it up for
Yeah,
him.
Josh explained, I think, that basically he can't die. Um, and he's eventually going to get there, which is not incorrect to say.
Yeah.
Um, and just
Oh,
yeah, the
that's tough.
sideboard here.
Down to 3 life. Just couldn't quite close it out before Enchantress got.
Very close. Very close. I think if Riley had had a slightly stronger draw, maybe he drew a sideboard card or two, could have gotten there.
Mhm.
But well fought. Like, that is a lot of damage very quickly. And Josh brought in. I'm very surprised to see the curse storm there, but not a bad choice. Stops Riverbow from regenerating, so not bad. Um,
True,
yeah,
true. So he's not sure what else is brewing in the Fires deck for him potentially.
yep, yeah. Again, the players do not have the top down view like we do. Shout out Jeff Rockwood for sending me the deck lists as Ben and I are recording these. Um, yeah, that's just a tough match for the Fires deck. Not having Tranquil Domain, I think, is rough, but you only have so
Yeah,
many sideboard slots, right?
that's true. That's true. Tranquil Domain or some amount of I don't know, pyroclasm type effect to that can hit those untargetable creatures is also be helpful. I
I
hope
could
that's
see that.
good overall in the. I mean, it's not bad. Also seems like it might have play against a lot of the other decks in the like
Yeah,
elves and goblins and whatnot. Like,
yeah. Looking at Riley's sideboard, I like it versus kind of the general field. But Josh, I think, had a really good deck choice for this event, playing Enchantress, and I don't think a lot of people. I say a lot of people. I was not expecting Enchantress, but I don't think a lot of people were looking at the deck list that I've seen. So, we'll see how that serves Josh going forward. But I think Riley did a great job with what he had given to him, and his deck is sweet. Like,
yeah,
I just love pretty much everything I'm seeing, minus the lack of mob bombers. But that's kind of controversial, and maybe two more sampling bursts.
sure, sure. Yeah, we didn't get to see Sampling Burst do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get to see Fires do the firing.
That's true. That's true. We did get to see a Kavu bounce a Blastoderm, which I think was super sweet.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Rashadenport
but
does thing. Maybe a fourth Rashadenport would be good too. Yeah, that's it's just
yeah,
minor nitpicks. I think that he had a sweet deck. Just maybe Riley draw better in the future. Get turn two fires and then go from there. That would be my
yeah,
best
I've done
advice for you.
some important research on this map and can confirm that was Odyssey Mountain, uh, 346.
I count myself
Wow.
wrong. Odyssey has deliciously beautiful lands.
Beautiful,
Love to
beautiful
see it.
mountain, forest, and a lake.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, on behalf of Ben and myself, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe and see more of our videos, feel free to do so. I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you like the video, feel free to tell us if you like us and tell us which of Riley's basic lands were best. I think I don't know. I don't know. They were all really good. They were really good.
This is great.
Have a good
See
one,
y'all later.
everybody.